for joining us. My name is Monica Holmes. I'm the Associate Director for Physician Services at Broward Health. I have been involved in integrating the electronic health records for the system.
My name is Kendra Sines. I'm the Practice Manager for Florida Hospital Healthcare Partners. I'm a Certified Medical Office Manager and a member of NGMA. I also am currently on a couple of committees that implement process change.
And I am Mildred Ilwa, the Operational Manager for HCA Transfer Center. I have been a member of numerous task forces to help train staff members with the rollout of new products.
My name is Franz Jean-Claude. I'm a nursing supervisor at Florida Medical Center. I'm part of a team that help decrease the admission rate in discharge patient population.
So, have you ever been chosen to sit in a committee or a small group and said to yourself, I really hate this. I am not a group person. I rather work on my own.
Could that be fair talking, Mill? If so, maybe you have never been a part of a group.
Since assigning you to some type of group or team within your organization is inevitable, today you'll be able to answer that call with confidence. The objective is to summarize the most pertinent information relating to working within a successful small group.
The information that we're presenting today is from the group, or from the book, Communicating for Results, A Guide for Business and Professions by Cheryl Hamilton and Tony L. Kroll, which is chapters 9 and 10. We will define the concept and value of a small group, then we will illustrate the 7 characteristics of a small group, which are used by corporations and a problem-solving group. In order to maximize the success of a problem-solving group, we will learn the communication skills that are needed to be effective participations within that group, within an organization.
First of all, let's start by asking, what is a small group communication? A small group communication is usually a small number of people engaging to work together toward a common goal. But while working as a group communication, we have a certain amount of people that a small group should have. For example, if you have a group of less than 3 people, we may not have enough members to bring information to the group. And if you have a group that is a small group of communication that includes more than 8 people, 8 members, we may not have, they may have difficulty to supply information. And it's difficult for them to participate when they have more people in a group. And according to Cheryl Hamilton, a small group member of 5 members is the most productive size in a small group communication. In a small group communication, we have to interact with each other, and which way we have to find to communicate. We have face-to-face communication. It's when we sit together as a group and we can discuss a plan for the organization. And some people that may not be in the same region, they can use telecommunication. But the issue with telecommunication when we use by phone, and you may not see the nonverbal cues in telecommunication. And also, people use Skype nowadays, and when you video communication in Skype, what happens is that you might have poor receptions where you have to try to reconnect again. In small group communication, we have to actively working together toward a common goal. The main reason for that is to develop new product, to implement new policies, and to find also solutions to the issues. They have three categories that we usually use in small group communication. So learning group. Learning group is seeking and sharing information. We look for information and then we share it to the team. And just like we can orient a new employee in the organization. And also self-maintenance group. Self-maintenance is not about to inform the employees, but mostly to educate them about how to communicate and to interact as a team. And we have problem-solving group. The problem-solving group mostly is to make a series of decisions in an attempt to solve a problem. For example, a team member working to debug a new computer software program. Our solving group utilizing today's organization.
Yes, actually, France, I'm glad you asked that because a problem-solving team is the most commonly used type of group within organizations today. Problem-solving as a team can be perceived as a very difficult task, but only if you're unprepared. So it can be less difficult for groups if the members are prepared, they know the topic, the members understand how to be successful and what to avoid when you're working together as a group. So there are 7 characteristics of a successful problem-solving group. The first one is being well prepared and organized. So if you come to your team meeting and you are organized, you have a process, and you know the topic, you're going to be more productive and you're going to be more successful with the group. The next one is receive periodic training. So the leader and the participants all need to have very specific training and experience with problem solving and working in a group. So virtual teams need to also have training on communication technologies such as internet, email, video conferencing, and collaborative software programs. Examine assumptions and opinions, so effective teams evaluate the opinions of all group members as well as themselves. Group members feel a sense of accomplishment and everyone feels more empowered when they're able to voice their opinions and also evaluate those opinions of themselves and the others. Evaluate possible solutions. So you want to compare and contrast possible solutions. Some solutions that you have presented and some that other team members have also presented. There's an 86% chance that groups who actually discuss the negative consequences of possible decisions will make their decisions better. The next characteristic is to avoid groupthink. So groupthink is defined as an uncritical way to think. This occurs when there is conflict avoidance and reaching an agreement that is more important than evaluating the actual alternatives. Characteristics of groupthink are illusion of invulnerability, shared stereotypes, rationalization, and an illusion of group morality, self-censorship, direct pressure, and mind guarding. To avoid groupthink, you want to bring in outside experts and members to be critical evaluators. And you also want to be critical when you're evaluating yourself. Sometimes you may make a solution, and then as you talk through the process, it may not be the correct solution, but at least you worked through the process and you figured out with the group that it wasn't correct. The next characteristic is to manage culture and diversity. So in multicultural groups, it's actually more successful when you have people from other cultures within that group because they bring different experiences to the group. So you want to use the task-oriented traits that different members bring to the group and find the purpose. You want to avoid cultural dominance because there may be more people in the group that are of one culture, but those that are the minority in the group actually can bring a lot of different topics to the group that you may not have thought of. The next one is teams operate virtually. So synchronous technologies are real-time communication. So this could be like the Skype programs that you may use to communicate with your group members. Asynchronous technologies are delayed communication. So think of things like email or text messages. Face-to-face meetings are in person, and that's something that France actually discussed earlier. And then there's the computer-mediated communication, which is non-visual. And this can also be an example of like an email or a text message, something where you're not seeing the person face-to-face. So no matter what the communication method is, communication is a vital piece to any successful group. Right, Monica?
That is correct. Communication skills are needed in order to be effective. You need to come committed, you need to come prepared, you need to have active listening, and you need to be open-minded. I can't tell you how many times I have gone to meetings where people are not prepared. It throws the meeting off. You're spending time having personal communications, and it just, the meetings go run longer. So with that being said, it's essential to have participants be a part of problem-solving team and have excellent communication. Again, you have to have those skills in order to expedite the task that is needed. So if you're on a problem-solving group to tackle a specific problem, you want to be able to communicate where you're going with that, how to find the solutions, how to be able to brainstorm and come up with different things. Next is having effective team members, like I said, come committed and prepared, devoted, supporting the cause. So for one, active listening. If you're not having active listening, you're not taking in what others have, bringing in opinions, things are going to start being unhealthy within that group. You want to be open-minded. Not everybody is going to have the same opinion. You got to be able to take what other people are bringing to the table and utilize it the best way you can. And in order to do that is to have respect for what others say and how they think. The group performs many tasks. Again, you coming in with a common goal, you have different personalities, you have different views. So with group task functions, those are people that are, not people, but those are your ideals, those are your reflections, those are your brainstorming, that is a way of coming together to do a root cause analysis and figure out, okay, what it is that we're here for. Your group maintenance is how you maintain the healthiness of your group. Again, you're dealing with different personalities, you're dealing with different views. You want to go back to what is our common goal? Don't spend so much time fighting. You want to be able to be constructive, you want to be productive, you want to be able to expedite the task that you brought there to do in the first place. I remember when I first got on my first team, it was so much working with IT to do the EHR. It was so much back and forth that we really didn't get much accomplished. So therefore, we had to regroup in our own individuals. How can we work together? IT comes from a whole different world, and trying to come into operations, they don't understand that. So how can we communicate effectively so that they can understand our needs in order for us to get this project done? Also, when it comes to having group task functions, when you're brainstorming, you want to be able to take in the ideals that other people bring to the table and kind of capitalize on those. Because if you do active listening and you think about, okay, this person is bringing some good ideals, let me not block them. Let me just see how I can utilize that. You'll understand that your task can be completed fairly quickly. Now I want to talk about dysfunctional behaviors. How many times have you gone to groups and you have that one person that sits there and confess their whole personal problems? As soon as they walk in, they're like, hey, do you know this happened to me, that happened to me? Oh my gosh, I can't function. Or you have someone that's very dominant, someone who wants to take control of the whole group with their ideals and only